I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of mortal dismemberment.
It's truly frightening.
This isn't a
Because you're home.
Oh man, I got this. Big love for me too, man. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Three Corners of Horror live here on Horror Fiend TV. I am Joe the Psychologist and this is going to be a fun one. There's going to be three things we'll be celebrating turning 50 this year. You'll have to wait for the other two. They'll be coming up soon. But let me introduce my brother, the villain, the boss, JR. What's good?
Trilogy of Terror. I gotta be honest. I was talking to Rick about this. I think this might be my first watch on this. So,
holy crap! I love that.
Well, yeah, looking forward to talking.
I thought you guys saw everything back in the day.
Man, this was this came out and I was never mind. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting talk. Yeah, looking forward to talking about this one. And forgot was it Motherfly?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, that's
the OG Mother Firefly.
And of course, my dear brother Rick. You ready to talk some terror tonight?
Oh, I'm ready, man. Let's get this party started, son.
All right, so yeah, actually, JR was not born yet when this movie came out. Unfortunately, I was, but I did not see this at 2. Wait, I would have been 2 at this time. But tonight we're going to be talking about Trilogy of Terror. It came out in I already messed up. Came out March 4th, 1975. So just a couple of days ago, 50 years ago. And I wanted to make sure I think this is the second 50-year-old one because I want to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the only 50-year-old one we've done, right?
Yeah, I would assume. I was like 70. I was 74, right?
Yeah. So we have that one, and like I said, this one's kicking off our celebration of the 50s this year for some people. I mean, movies. And yes, the movie is directed by Dan Curtis, and it stars Karen Black as Julie, Millicent, Therese, and Amelia. If you have not seen the movie, it is available only on YouTube. And honestly, the quality is pretty good. I did not get the name of the channel. Just look for Trilogy of Terror. It is also available if you want to not look for the whole thing. They have it available in little sections too. There's another person to put them all in individual parts. So yeah, I was the first one to see this one, obviously. And the fun fact about this is a made-for-TV movie. So this wasn't really a theatrical release. This was made for TV.
Back when TV was actually good.
Exactly. And I want to say I saw this on Pix. And for y'all who don't know what Pix is, it's a station in New York, Channel 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still Channel 11? Yeah, so that back in the day, I mean, they were the ones that played Tales from the Dark Side, like all the good horror stuff, including movies. And that's how I saw this one. And this had always stuck out, but I'll be honest, as I was rewatching it for this, I mainly remember, when we talk about the sections, I mainly remember the third one. The other two, I'm like, and it was kind of almost a little bit of a first watch, even though when you got to the second one, I'm like, oh, wait, I remember this one. But yeah, this was an interesting one because, again, it came out for TV. It wasn't a theatrical release. You had one actress playing 4 different roles, which I thought was a pretty cool feat for them to do back at the time. And, you got 3 different stories. All of them were, totally different from each other, but yet for me they were still good. And I saw this as a kid, so that Zuni doll, I mean that thing was a little thing of nightmares when I was younger. But I'm gonna go to the first time watch on this one, JR. So what did you think of Trilogy of Terror?
It was interesting. Like the first 2 reminded me a little bit of Alfred Hitchcock. Like the twists and turns on him, because Alfred Hitchcock was always known for his turns, but this one, the reason it reminded me, because unlike the Hitchcock ones, this one was about it flipped it. You had strong women characters in this one, and which I kind of liked it. It's like I know we're gonna dive into 3 of them, but yeah, for me it was, I didn't know what to expect when I started watching it. thing I learned about this is the first two had a lot of literature. Talk about literature. A lot books played a predominant role in the first two stories. But then, yeah, like that dude in the first one, just like he would just hold that stare. And there was another film that we joked about the stairs. What the hell was it? It was another old film where they would just do the long pause, creepy fucking
Oh,
stare.
Joe knows. Joe knows.
Which was there was another one we talked about, and all we just joked about was the freaking stairs. But yeah, this one was interesting. Like I say, Mother Firefly. It was good seeing her. And I was like, dang, that's how she looked when she was 50 years ago. And okay, the woman had it. So, she still got it. I mean, she has a little flair in her. But yeah, it was interesting film, and yeah, I can't wait to talk about the three sections. And he's muted.
He's muted. Look, I love how he's so animated. His face.
And again, this was one JR and I did not see this one together. I was going in my brain, and I have no recollection of watching this one with him at all. So that's why, I'm wondering when the hell did he see this one? Because again, it was happenstance to happen to watch it on TV back in the day when you're flipping, and all of a sudden this thing starts and you get stuck watching this movie. So what about you, Rick?
Yeah.
Do you remember your first?
Yeah, I do, because it wasn't that long ago compared to you guys. I first saw this. I know JR mentioned Mother Firefly. It was actually when House of a Thousand Corpses first came out, and Karen Black, already had passed before the release of that film, I believe. And I kept hearing about Karen Black. And then it always went back to Trilogy of Terror and her performance in that. And I always knew of Trilogy of Terror, of course, because of the Zuni Hunter fetish style story. I didn't even know it was called Amelia until I saw it again. Like, oh, all this time it's called Amelia. It makes sense because of the the other two stories as far as the name structure. But it was 2003. I went out. I honestly don't remember how I saw it, man. I know I checked it out. It was probably either, I would say, yeah, streaming was around then, right? Netflix was so early in its infancy. I saw it somewhere, but I remember watching it, and I was like, okay, it was alright, Of course, everybody remembers Amelia, that story. So, when I saw it again recently for this live stream, I really dove into the first two, and I was like, God, dog, I don't remember any of these two stories. Because that was 2003, and we're in 2025. You guys know I got a bad, horrible memory retaining shit. So, yeah, it was pretty good. I loved how minimalistic it was, because this movie, what I loved about it, you said it was made for TV, but it didn't show no gore, really. There was no pervasive language or anything, but it didn't need it. And this is how you do horror if it's going to be put on TV. Because if they do horror now for TV, it's just going to be they're going to try and do gore. It's either going to be really CGI and fake, or they're going to do cutaways, or they're going to, it's just, why go to that length to do this elaborate death kill scene if you can't show it? Here, they knew they weren't going to be able to show any of that shit, so they created storylines, and they picked the writers. Because Richard Matheson, these are based off some of his shorts, right?
Yeah, it is.
So,
yes.
Yeah, so they pick he actually did I know he was involved more with Amelia.
Yes.
But they took 3 of those stories. Okay, these we can take and make it into a TV format, but still have them kind of, I don't want to say scary, because the first 2 wasn't really scary. But they still had horror elements to them, and they still kept you engaged as you watched them. And then they saved the best for last, and I think that's the best decision they could have made, man, for sure.
Well, let's go ahead and look at those comments real quick.
All right, we got Lexi, 4th corner. Yes, let's go. My dead fleece handsome. I like the fact that she keeps us calling handsomes, and we're just graying, and except Joe, because
Joe's beautiful.
But
man.
we're graying out and stuff.
Soul,
but
man.
Thank you so much. First watch.
Another
All
first
right,
watch.
Yeah,
Here we go.
nice.
Hey.
Yeah, she finally watched something before we live streamed it.
You're getting your points back.
Hey, your boy Adam, son.
Hey, Alexi, I misread it as older than you. Wow, that's just
They saying hey.
It was full of surprises for sure. I kept thinking of that poor woman, but boy, was I wrong. Yeah.
Let me tell you, that first story, bro. I hated that dude. Uh,
The stare, dude. Like,
oh my god! Yeah, fun fact. That was actually Cameron Black's husband. That was him, her
Ah.
then husband. I don't know if they're still married now, but yeah, he convinced her to take this role. But man, I hated that motherfucker with a passion, bro. I hated
Well,
that. Too.
I mean, since you're
Guys,
sorry.
what were you saying?
I mean, since you're already started up, I mean, let's dive into each of these sections. I know
Let
normally.
me finish these up. Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. Oh,
Oh,
dag,
reread
man, I
it.
gotta vet these.
It was a rewatch for me. All right,
It
she
was
got
a
me on that
rewatch?
one.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
So
Yeah,
beat me.
I thought she said she had seen it before. That this was gonna be a rewatch.
Yeah.
But
But yeah.
yeah.
Let's
So
rock. Yeah.
normally when we do anything's an anthology, we tend to just try to say, oh, which was your favorite, which ones. But honestly, the runtime on this movie, is an hour and 19 minutes.
No, well, the YouTube version for me, since they cut the credits, was like an hour and 7 minutes. Holy shit.
Oh, okay. So I know. Wait.
It was
Yeah,
an hour
what?
9. I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that's what
actually.
it was.
Yeah. So,
That's what it was,
I think mine had commercials, which is why it went a little longer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, mine too. Man.
But yeah. So normally, like I said, anytime we've done these, we've because we see so many of these anthologies that they have so many stories that once we start going into every single one, we're like, oh god, we've been sitting here for an hour and a half now. But these, as Rick kind of was saying, the way that it was written, the way it was structured, and go through all three of them. Obviously we'll start with Julie first. And if you haven't seen the movie, Julie is a college professor. And what was the name of the guy, Rick? Did you?
Chad?
Chad.
Chad,
Chad.
right?
Always Chad.
It's
Isn't
always-
it?
Yeah, we
always
did
is.
talk
It's
about
always
it, Chad.
Chad.
Listen.
That's why Chad gets the axe.
Why you? I'm gonna double check.
But so this guy picks a fixation on her, and then basically, so that way we'll talk the sections. But things happen as you talk. You can talk about what happened, and then you get the culmination of the twist at the end. But Rick, you were kind of starting mentioning at the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah.
so yeah, I'll go with you first on the Julie.
Chad, it was Chad. So, dude, yeah. And this is a common theme with, not the last one, because obviously that's the one I'm more familiar with, but the first two. But I will start with Chad. I caught it immediately. I knew exactly what was going on, as far as why he was acting so weird. And what I liked about it, it was this story here. It centered around a small cast, right? And it has the teacher. God, dog, what's her name? Eldridge is her last
Julie
name, Miss
Eldridge,
Eldridge.
yeah.
but I don't. Oh, Julie! Jesus Christ!
Julie.
Name of the episode, Julie.
Remember that episode, Julie?
Yeah, Julie. So immediately when he was like, I got this sudden urge to want to see what she looks like under all those clothes. I don't understand why. We watched enough movies. Okay, here we go. They're setting up the exposition now. This is gonna tie into what happens later. Because why this guy was in college and his friend doesn't seem, he doesn't seem like he knows anything that's going on. And you knew immediately that these two guys are they're dogs. They're the way they talked about women. And I'm assuming Julie probably picked up on that at first, but then I don't know, when you get to the end, she got the whole scrapbook. Maybe she don't just pick the bad boys. Maybe she just kills anybody. But man, I was like, God, I hope it is what I think it is. She's mind controlling this motherfucker. And if it's not that, Jesus Christ, this guy, he stalked her, he drugged her. I'm assuming, I don't want to use the big rape, but I don't know if they implied it or not, because he started buttoning up and he,
Well, no, he
I don't
did.
know.
I mean, like, and that's the whole thing, which has made the interaction before she gets out of the car, like, it kind of, because you would think, in any person in that situation, let's just put even us as guys, if something like that were to happen, you would go, something don't feel right now,
Yeah.
and you would question the person, and she's like, oh, did I fall asleep? You're like,
I know. And think about it. You took a sip. By the way, 2 drinks for a fucking $1, bro. That's the one
Yeah.
thing that blew my mind in this episode. I'm sorry. And it really,
1975, man.
and it really triggered me that they go to a movie. They're in the drive-in, and this guy he could care less about this fucking movie. He leaves and he comes back. The speaker, he leaves it outside the fucking car. I noticed those things. But like,
Oh, did you? It's
Yeah.
funny because when they, I mean, because we never did drive-in. I mean, I know I'm the oldest
never
one
done
here,
a
but I
drive-in,
haven't
no.
done it. But I'm like, well, how good does it sound? And then when you get to the car, it sounds really good. I'm like, all right, well, I guess it must have sounded good.
Well, to be fair, it was louder, right? Then when he came back, they kind of used a mono sound, so it was only coming from one direction, which was Julie's direction, because he left his speaker outside. He never put it back in. But like JR had said, he was just staring at her. I'm like, oh my god, like, please, this has to be some twist in this, because this guy is so fucking creepy right now. And the way he easily manipulated her, and he seduced her, blackmailed her, he did all this shit to this poor woman. And I loved how they flipped it at the end. I won't get too much into it, but the one line when he goes to her, you drugged me, and she goes, no, I killed you. And he just stopped. Great, that was great. But I liked it because it was an episode where, and by the way, the 3-story structure here was great, because I think the 3 stories got the right amount of time that each one needed. And the only thing that was missing was the book ending. Because this is 75. I'm assuming there were other anthologies before this. I don't know. There must have been. There must have been.
I know
some.
we're doing one next month, which I don't know if it's an anniversary. Which
actually,
is be
Black Sabbath
hot.
was the anniversary. Yeah, Black Sabbath. That was an anthology from Mario Bava. So yeah, I think that's a 60s film if I'm not mistaken, or early 70s. My man DeRay was here. He would know. But
they probably didn't like the way they're doing them now, where you get a story in the beginning, a story at the end. Was probably not like back then. We're just gonna give you your 3 stories because just to give you the 3 stories.
Yep. There was there was one scene here one thing with Cameron Black, like her acting. I wanted to touch on it real quick before I move on. Was so good, man. It was so good. In case I forget, even in the last episode or the last segment when she's talking to her mom over the phone and she's having this conversation with her, and she actually, like, I don't know if it was something with the actress or not, but she botched the line, but she just recovered really quickly and just kept going. But it felt like a real conversation. If you're upset with someone, you're not gonna speak perfectly. You're gonna stutter. You're gonna misspeak and correct yourself. And it felt natural, and I think Karen Black really went. I mean, she played all the roles in it, and they couldn't be any different from one another. So, but Julie was a good one. I thought it was pretty cool. I like the simple approach to it, and even though I love the fact that she fucked up Chad, but then again, maybe it wasn't his fault. Maybe he wasn't such a dick like that. I doubt it. But that was a cool reveal. I love how the reveal happened though, and I'll let you guys talk about that.
All right, before we jump on him, they're starting to fill up real quick. So
it's probably gonna be Lexi having a conversation.
No, you gotta.
Go.
Hey, hi Selena. How you doing?
What up, son?
Selena, did you watch this, Selena?
I doubt that.
Oh,
I enjoyed it. Adam enjoyed it. Yep. All
He
right,
did.
here we go. Oh,
nice shirt, fellas.
Hey!
we got the banging shirts. We got we don't plan this, by the way. But what up, Adam? How you doing, Gilly? What's up, brother?
I agree. I love the Rick shirt most. Wait for it. She's gonna switch. Here it comes.
She's biased.
Yeah, she is. Which one of you old heads watched this live and recorded?
Okay, so I don't think we discussed this, Gilly. Unfortunately, none of us saw this live.
I didn't see it live, but I did see it on regular TV.
Joe is the only one that caught it.
I actually saw this on broadcast television.
On VCR, no. Like I said, I saw this in 2003. I don't remember how I saw it, to be honest with you. But I saw it once, and this was my second time actually watching it. Oh, hold on. Oh, I messed up.
There you go. All right. There you go. There's the change. I love Joe too. Ready? Okay. Joe wins.
How about GI? Sure. Come on.
She don't like Jason.
The mic was in the way. Yeah, the mic's always in the way of our shit.
Yeah. I didn't see Joe's shirt. Oh, yeah. Rick looks like he's in jail.
Damn, you blew my spot.
Dude, shut up, man.
You Lopez.
Damn, man. It's a secret, man. We said we weren't going to talk about it.
Got me. I know, man. I'll let you know at the end of the stream what I did.
All right, so yeah.
Finally got me.
JR, so again, and honestly, I think there was something else we reviewed, and it was like a first. Oh, when we did Leprechaun was the first. The first watches are a little bit more fun to get somebody who's not seen it before, because you get that, and I'm pretty sure, and you saw it because I saw it yesterday. So when did you see it, JR?
Today.
So it's like so. All right,
yeah,
so
he's really expressing his
yeah,
mind,
yeah.
man.
So what'd you think of Julie?
I liked it. Like it was. I mean, I agree with Rick. I kind of knew something was up to me. He goes, I just want to see her naked. I wonder how she looks under those clothes naked. I'm like,
Thinks that way.
dude, nobody just popped in.
Not
That
like
doesn't
that.
pop
Yeah, not
into
like
your
that.
head. But where I thought she had him seduced in the get go was when she was teaching the class and she sits down at the desk and basically, gives him a little leg in his direction. He's like, and all of a sudden he just starts fantasizing about all the stuff he wants to do. But yeah, that dude was creepy as shit. I mean, she did a good job for her portrayal of the character. I kind of felt like something was up with her anyways because she didn't go out much. And her friend now, that's another thing that was like,
GR,
yo, how long
thank
has she
you.
been living with her that
Thank
she
you for
doesn't
that.
know? And this
How-
woman's a
I
serial
don't
killer.
understand that. Yeah, yeah. How come her friend is clueless about
Yes.
everything she does?
That's the only thing that kind of
Hello.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on. She's a
she-
serial killer.
Yeah, but like I was curious. I mean, granted, I love the runtime. I'm glad they didn't go too long with it. But it's one of those things you're like, how long have they been living together that she's not picking up on her behavior? Because you could, we've seen plenty of serial killer movies. Eventually, they slip up somehow, and the fact that this is her roommate for such a long time, she survived all this time without
Not
her
to
doing
mention, she
anything
had
to
the
her.
scrapbook inside of her drawer that's not even
Yeah.
locked.
Well, and actually, if you also because when Julie came home, she was up waiting for her,
Mhm.
which made it seem like almost the first time that she'd been came home late. So Julie, think about it. That's the best cover up you can have if you're going to be a serial killer. I live at home with another person. They always see I don't go out. The roommate is like, you should go out. She's like, no. So, she always had the perfect alibi all along, playing and she was in a house. I don't even know what you would call that, a recluse, I guess, but it wasn't even that. It was just a facade that she was actually carrying.
Well, the fact that she was so buried in her books that's all she cared about, and grading the grades and her students, that was her. I mean, that was her version of Clark Kent.
Yeah,
Let me ask you guys.
That's a good.
Do you kind of wish that the filmmakers actually let us know exactly what kind of power she possessed to be able to control?
I don't think she had.
control someone.
I don't
Because
think-
she
I
said
don't
that-
think-
I didn't feel she had
No.
power. It's
See,
always the
no,
unknown.
Hey, no, that's
No,
come
no,
on.
No, that's
She manipulated.
Wait, how did she put a thought into his head then? How did he
Because-
say all of a sudden, I got the strangest
Because
urge,"
probably because we didn't get a
Hormones,
full,
man,
we
hormones.
didn't get a full movie.
But she said
got-
that she hold on. Last thing I'm gonna say. She said at the end that the moment that she walked into the place, or she walked by him, that when she said her own words, she put that thought into his mind.
Well, right? Why do you
By what,
think?
walking?
Because all along the scene. So here's my okay. I guess this is all for how you're gonna look at it. Like JR brought up the scene where she sat there and put the leg. All along, we only saw a couple segments of class. This entire semester, she could have been sitting there and slowly leaning in on him, doing certain little seductive moments that eventually he's gonna go, really want her, because she's been slowly doing little things to entice him to
And
finally
look,
get there.
See, I'm on a different.
No, and
I'm on a
too.
different
Basically, I'm
level.
saying it's a
I think-
because
Yeah.
the last one is supernatural, so that's where I can kind of see where you're going.
Because he was not acting himself. He was all of a sudden they're
Actually, all three
talking
had
about
supernatural.
women, huh?
All three actually had something of the supernatural.
Because yeah,
so
because the way
now that you
when
think
she
about
walked
it-
by, he was like,
Oh, shit.
you see him, he's going like this, he's like, I just got this, it was, you know what I'm saying, and then she said it herself. He said,
I put that.
not just
thought-
that though, but she said that your actions and your thoughts were no longer your own. Pretty much, she said, I'm the one controlling you.
Well, the
You know
thing
what I mean?
too is she's a predator. She's a predator.
Yes.
So she knows
she
how
is,
to
no
play.
doubt,
She knows
no
how to
doubt.
play the game. So she's been doing this for a while, and the fact that later on he says how he's not interested in any of the women around, because why? Because he feels like he's above everybody there. So she tapped into his ego to the point where he was like, She told me you could have any girl around here.
She just walked by him though. Like she didn't like look
No,
at
but
him
she's
or
been
like
no,
show
she's
him
been
leg
his
walking
teacher.
by.
No,
Yeah.
but she's been his teacher this whole time.
Then why
So we
didn't
don't-
he get so obsessed before then?
I know
Because
what
she
I-
stood out. She stood out amongst the crowd of just the
Crowd.
regular women that he didn't.
and she's been
feel
slowly
anything for.
showing like what I'm trying to say is like when she showed a little bit the leg and opened up the legs in his direction.
That's the thing that really got him.
So that's what I'm
Because-
saying. So
yeah.
I think that all along she's just been slowly doing little things to
One last thing.
pique his interest. But
But what she also said, this is I'm paraphrasing, not verbatim. I'm paraphrasing. She said, "Do you think you're smart enough to come up with all of these little like scenarios and ideas, like drugging her, sneaking up on her, like spying and shit, and getting the negatives to blackmail her? I mean, come on, they did orgies and shit." She said, "Do you think you could have come up with that on your own?" I put that on, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking she was the one that
But-
was controlling those.
she's been doing this for
But
so
yeah,
long.
think about this though.
Well, agree to disagree then.
No, I,
She hold on. She
That's
played.
cool.
She played. She put all the bait there. 'Cause think about it. When he was sneaking around the house, what did she do?
But he was confused. He was like,
No, but
What?
when he was sneaking outside the house. What's it that she did? She went straight to the window, got undressed.
that
And she could have got undressed
"Oh yeah,
anywhere
yeah,
else.
no,
in the house.
I know that, yeah." Because
But for me, yeah.
she wants that, but how did he get there? All right, I'm gonna make. In my mind, she got into his brain and said, "Come to me, come here," because she knows he's there because she put him there mentally. That's why she went to the window. She never looked at. Oh, he's there. Is he there? Oh, he's okay. let me
She
go
was
now."
expecting him
You
there.
know, that's some crazy coincidence. Because she
Well,
never. How the
yeah,
hell she
but-
know he was there at that exact time though?
But
How did she- how would she know
that's the
he's
same
there?
thing though. How did he know to go over there
Interesting. No, it's
at
interesting.
the time that the friend just
Look at
left?
Joe's looking at him. Look at Joe. He's looking at
But
him.
think
I
about it
love
too
it.
though. The friend just left at that time,
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
so
she
he
did.
could have been sitting there watching the house.
Which
the
he
whole
was.
time,
Obviously,
which
yeah, he was. No
The
doubt
minute
about that.
the minute she leaves, she gets up,
Yeah.
goes to the window.
It's
here
an
you
interesting
go.
story, yeah, because
And
now
then because
it could
now
go
it's
right.
you wonder how much of because like when you see the book, I mean she was halfway through the book already. The victim she had.
Yeah. a lot
So
of-
and the thing too is, I mean think about it. Chad, he just looked like your typical asshole. So for me, I see her taking down the ones she view as assholes. Even the friend at the end when he shows up, you're like, huh. But it's like
Yeah, was that the same guy that was with him in the beginning?
no, you know who that
it
is.
was-
But
No.
that's Gregory Harrison. I don't know if you know who the actor is.
Ah.
Look, he's been around literally a lot of 80s, 90s, even still now. But when I saw his face, I'm like, oh my God, that's Gregory Harrison. He had such a small little role. But I'm sorry, because Rick, up until this point, Julie, the other two do feature Supernatural. So Julie stood out a little different. I just want to read to you what I found. While Julie in Trilogy of Terror does not explicitly feature a traditional supernatural element like ghosts or spirits, the story does present a sense of the uncanny and manipulation that could be interpreted as a supernatural quality, particularly when her ability to seemingly control and manipulate men through telepathic suggestions, making her character appear damn it, I was doing good until that fucking word.
otherworldly.
In her
We
predatory
understand.
behavior. So when you said that, Rick, up until this point, because the other two had that, so I never put those three together. Rick might have a point reading that. Rick might have a point, but when you look at serial killers and the predatory behaviors that they do, and she's been doing it for so long that she's just knows how to be able to manipulate
You know what
pick
that-
her targets.
Well, yes, you're right. What you just read kind of opened it up to me that they're implying that it's left to interpretation
Yeah.
as to the viewer. So
Yeah.
Because
Take
they're
it how-
basically saying it had for some. I think
Mhm,
a lot of people must have asked the same question on this one. Believe it or not, I love that Trilogy
I
of
like that.
Terror.
Though. I like that.
Is such a good
like that, yeah.
conversation to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
another thing real quick though is the fact too that what's his friend tell him when he starts eyeing the teacher? Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, you
This is-
can't do
now is the challenge that you can't. You're going after something you can't go after. So she played him good because she
That's
kept
how he
pushing
felt.
him away. So now you're hitting that. I mean, Chad is the typical male a-hole in college who, let's be honest, he looked like he had money.
When she was like, "Can anyone tell me, so and so by whatever there's," and he gave that fucking long ass comment. I didn't understand a word that motherfucker said. Like, Jesus Christ, this motherfucker's smart. What the
And what
fuck
did she
he
do
just say?
afterwards? She sat there and gave him a little leg. All right, here you go.
Yeah.
Thank you
Well,
for the good
he
answer.
was a smart guy. I mean,
Well,
that
and
was,
don't forget, with her being a teacher, she has access to stuff. So if
Yeah.
there's been any accusations by students on Chad, she's probably going, well, the girls will probably be happy if I get rid of this one. And set her sights on him. Because again, it seems to be the scrapbooks was students. So she purposely picked students for a specific reason, which again, that's the best part about this is that I think this one section was 25 minutes, right? So in 25 minutes, you got the 25, 25, and 19, I want to say
The
was
last one was the shortest one. I thought the
last
middle
one was the
would
shortest
be.
one.
And
That's the one the
the
shortest
second
one.
episode felt the shortest to me.
Yeah, no, 20. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
no, dude, that was great because again, I never would have thought what Rick had said, and it took the moment to go. I'm going to type this in. So yeah, it is open for interpretation. However, Rick's points are really valid on the way that she was able to do that. But then, with JR, she's a serial killer, so she knows behaviors. She studied enough to be able to take people out. So let's go ahead and jump into
Hold on,
story
real
number
quick.
2.
Yeah, by the way, hey Lexi, darling.
I wanted
Daddy.
JR to read that. That's why I said. All right.
Fortunately, I haven't seen this movie. I hope you all are.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
We're good.
Absolutely. Thank you, Selena.
It's
You
your
gotta watch
boy.
it. I'm gonna make you watch it. Here we go.
It's your
This is
boy.
free,
I
Joe.
thought you was a psychic vampire.
Yeah, see, I knew we were gonna think the same, man. Vampire. I didn't think vampire, but that's a good way to put it. But she, to me, I think she has some kind of psychic.
She did. No, and you honestly, that's it's
fucking
great
Jean
for
Grey over here and shit.
It's great that you brought that up because it did give that story a different way for you to look at it.
Yeah.
But we'll jump into now.
What up, Dre? By the way, what's up, son?
Oh yeah, what's up, Dre? Sorry, we're all into the conversation on this one.
Yeah.
Sorry. But so the second one is Millicent and Therese. So in the second story, we're dealing with twins who just fucking hate each other. I mean, they're polar opposites, and then they contact the commander from Police Academy. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
Yeah. The doctor.
Was he a doctor?
Wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I'm
talking
sorry. Yeah, no, the doctor. Yes, the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was the commander. Because
Yeah.
we're watching
The
it,
commissioner,
and
right?
Adam goes, hey. I go, I think it was, well, anyway, from Police Academy.
Whatever,
So you have these two sisters who hate each other. You're a lot of it is from the perspective of Millicent. But as you're watching this, also, by the way, guys, I muted for a second. Can anybody guess how old Karen Black actually was when she did this movie?
Well, they said I don't know her, but the character was 26. I want to say, right? Therese.
So
That's
she's
what they
probably
scored.
22, 23.
She didn't look any. She probably was around between 26 and 30, I would say.
All right, JR, what are you saying?
22, 23.
Oh, really? She was 36.
Really?
Jeez, you know what? When she was Therese, I was like, damn, she looks like almost like how she looked like in House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm like,
Don't
after all
reason,
that makeup.
the reason I said 22, 23 because I don't know between the
75.
between the mid 70s and the early 80s, a lot of those actors who played like college kids or high school kids, they looked a lot older. Than,
Hello,
Yeah.
Grease. I mean, Rizzo.
No, all I think about is John Travolta lookalike and Christine.
Oh, that's my boy. Yeah.
Oh,
I hate
yeah.
that. Yo, every time I don't know his name, I just call him the John Travolta.
John
fucking
Travolta.
knockoff. That's all.
And-
I call
but
him.
then
I call him
I-
fake John Travolta.
Well, you see him, and then all of a sudden your brain goes to John Travolta and Carrie. I don't know if that happens to you guys, but that's usually what happens to me. But yeah, let's talk about these twins and the second story. So JR, I'm gonna go to you first. What'd you think of the second story?
I'll be honest. I'll let you guys talk about the twist, but I knew the twist as soon as it happened.
Same.
I think it was so obvious,
Immediately.
and I think that the only thing that had me bugging though was like, "Yo, hold up, is this dude like not realize that he's sleeping with the same person? He's who's
Oh,
basically snitching on the. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah. How did he
like
not know?
how does
Right?
this guy not know this whole time? I mean,
Well, they're twins though. That's like he knew.
He only
Everybody knows that
came
they're
out.
twins.
She only came out as
right.
Therese when she.
But for
Cause
me, I'm sitting there
you're
like,
right though, Gio. You're right because when he was like, oh, I never. That's the first time he met Millicent. That's the
Yeah.
first time he met her.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's like, she. And I know what happened over there. She told you, and then
She
he
told-
almost starts
yes.
crying. Well, yeah, because she was there, bro. But yeah, I mean, I knew from the get go, and I'm gonna say the one thing that all these three have in common is a change of personality throughout the film from the main person. They all have a change of persona. The last was a little bit more on the, like paranormal side or whatever, but it's always a change of the characters. But yeah, I kind of knew from the get go what the whole thing was, and like I would say out of the three, the second one was probably the weakest one because it was too obvious, and it kind of took away from it. Like I'm watching, I'm like, all right, I know what this is, and the way they were planning basically the seeds of letting you know what it is, it was so blatantly obvious. I mean, and that's I think it took away from it. I didn't enjoy it as much because it just felt like, and I agree with Rick, I felt like this second one should have probably been the shortest one to add to the third one because I wanted more of the third one. But yeah, for me, it's just this one it didn't really click for me because it was too obvious, and maybe it's because we watch so much horror movies that we kind of see the writing on the wall before the first letter even goes up. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was okay. I mean, I wish they would have did things differently as far as the reveal, but I'll let you guys talk about the reveal.
All right. So because when I was watching it, I'm not gonna lie, especially after we got through Julie first, I went, I don't remember that story. And then we get to Melissa and Therese, and I'm like, I don't remember this story either.
Yeah.
Same thing though. I was like, oh, it's either dual personality or multiple personalities.
If anyone, I know.
Oh yeah, no, I picked it up quick.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Had they consulted with like a psychologist or somebody, the way they would have tricked us, the audience, would have been if, let's say, Millicent would have been pounding on the door, you hear her talk, and then, which can be done with a camera, you hear
like
voice,
Psycho.
you hear the voice,
Norman Bates.
and you hear the voice change from the other side. It still would be her talking to herself, but us, the viewers, wouldn't have been so quick to figure out that they were both the same person. So they never put in there a way to show, like, do the change in between the two of them, like they're actually fighting with each other. And it was just more like she destroyed my, she's writing in the book, like, so yeah, it was, and it's not the strongest of the two, which is probably why Julie and Amelia are the first and the second ones, because they knew that one wasn't going to be the strongest. I still kind of dug it. I mean, I am the psychologist, so I figured it out. I wanted to see how this was going to play out because I totally forgot this one too, and I'm like, all right, so how's this one end? And when you got the voodoo doll, that's the supernatural, right? That's what I'm saying. So with the voodoo doll in this one, the Zuni doll in the other one. So the only thing we're missing was the doll in the first one, which would have been the true interconnect with all of them. So go ahead. Like, what did you think of the second story?
Yeah, not my favorite. Not terrible by any means, but it was definitely the weakest of the three. And again, going back to like supernatural versus non, what's to say that it was the voodoo doll that did it? What if she took pills and killed herself? We don't know that. There's no way to know how she really died. Just because the doll was on the floor, we already know she's bonkers. And they didn't even try to hide the fact that it was a dual personality. I mean, when Therese shows up with that horrible fake wig, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! All right, come on, you can't tell that's a wig.
Her outfit was nice though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't know, and you could just tell just the way she was talking about her sister, and they never showed them together, and then it was they didn't try to hide it. I think I'm assuming when people develop a multiple personality, and Joe would know this obviously more than me, but it's usually associated to some form of trauma experience in life.
Yes.
And I'm assuming something happened with the dad that maybe triggers something. Joe, go. I'm curious.
on that, what I thought was actually because when Millicent was trying to say how Therese seduced the dad, was Millicent instead of just accepting that her dad did something to her, the other personality, and she could have been being abused, and she developed another personality. And in developing another personality, this was a personality that was willing to let whatever is going to happen, therefore making her the whore, the slut that Millicent didn't like. So it was a coping mechanism probably for Millicent, which explains why Millicent was dowdy, right? Dowdy's a good word to use. The way that she
Dowdy?
looked, yeah, she was, she was homely. She didn't make
Oh, yeah.
herself up, because she didn't want the attention, because she had gotten this unwanted attention, and the unwanted attention created a personality that would want the attention and be able to take the attention. So it's not the strongest in the sense of like the way that, but for me,
Here's
the
a question.
psychologist, I just looked at because that way, because you knew that there was some trauma, and the way, because she kept saying dad seduced him. So
Yeah.
it was her way of, she loved her father, and instead of just saying to herself, my dad did this, was my twin sister seduced him.
But is it safe to assume that Therese was she is?
I don't think she was the
Because
I think it's
Melissa
flipped.
is the middle name. You
No,
know what I mean?
so the more dowdy one, I think, was the actual personality.
No, see, I
don't
this
think
is,
it, I don't think,
this is the fun part about it. The reason I think it was flipped though is because Teresa was the social one, so she was the one that was out of the house most of the time. And then
Yeah,
this
because
one,
she broke the
yeah,
doll,
she
too.
she wrote down she had the boyfriend, she was out of the house, she vacationed this and there,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
right. The boyfriend. Yeah, yeah.
the other one was basically face deep in books, constantly writing, and to the point where that was the one that was looking to eliminate the one
other
that
one. All right.
the other one to base. And remember too, like a lot of the multiple personality ones, a lot of the, I mean, we've seen so many films where the fathers do things to their daughters, and the daughters end up going out and about and basically trying to be accepted by men to the point that they turn into that personality. That's their personality. But then you have the one that hates that personality because she hid in books the whole time, which was kind of ironic. How she's the one hiding in books, but then says, "Oh yeah, look at her books." In reality, those are your books, but you're kind of pointing the finger in the different direction. That's why I took it that Teresa was the real personality, and Melissa was trying to kill that personality, because when all said and done, the personality that died technically was Teresa, and
Exactly.
the
That's how I
Teresa
saw it,
form, which is where Melissa wanted to kill that form. That's why I kind of think it was the other way.
All right. I can't believe that Trilogy of Terror is such a conversation that we're having right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it's a well-made film, though.
It is. And again,
It reminds me
made
like
for
old, like Twilight Zone or
TV.
something.
Oh,
Hitchcock.
yes,
It says Hitchcock.
it's Hitchcock. I mean,
Yeah.
this is old school writing. This is like you said, it lacked gore.
Yeah, but
because
by
even
design, because
Yeah.
by
again,
design, even with the Julie part, when I know we finished that one, but even the Julie part, when Chad starts unbuttoning his shirt, you knew what was going to happen.
yeah.
They didn't show it to you, but you as and we're talking about 1975.
In that case,
But-
though, like Julie she wanted to get raped. Then I'm assuming, because remember, she let everything play
That
out
was all
herself.
part
Oh
of
no,
the
she
bait.
just wanted to have sex. She just
That
wanted
was
to have
all
sex
part of the
beyond that.
bait.
But I will
knocked
say,
out, she got
what this did is kind of, what we mentioned the 50th Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The beauty in that one is all the gore is all in your head.
Yeah.
In this movie, a lot of the stuff that you think about, it's all in your head. They're only lining it up, and you're filling in all these spots. Which a made-for-TV movie, which is what's fucking awesome, because they didn't have to put in the gore. Because the only one that actually had gore, which is what we're going to talk about next, was Amelia. Everything else was just like JR said, Hitchcock done. It was the old school horror, which is everything is implied. You're going to read into it. You're going to visualize it. But now, I want to go ahead and give you a little bit gore. Not so much because, again, we're made for TV, 1975. But let's talk about the Zuni doll. You know what, Jared? I'm going to go to you.
All right. So first of all,
Which
why
is,
the hell would
by the
you?
way, sorry, Amelia is the name of the story.
Yes. First of all, why the hell would you get that in the first place?
I would do
what-
that shit, bro. I think it was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Joe
but
knows,
I
Joe
mean, we
knows,
would
Joe-
because we're horror. But you're like, why did
yeah,
you get
yeah.
it?
Why would
For
she
her,
get
well,
it?
it was for her. It was for the boyfriend who
Anthropologist,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I
so
know,
it
but-
made sense in that part.
But still, I'm sitting there like, as
Come on,
I'm
bro,
watching
look at
it.
behind you. You got that doll right behind you,
Boy,
Jay. I don't
cool
want to
though,
hear
man.
it,
Look
bro.
at that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Well, that's
exactly.
Sam, though.
That
That's
shit's
Sam,
gonna
though.
fucking send things to your house.
Exactly, bro.
That's
Nothing
Sam,
in
man.
my background except for Freddy is gonna get me, but you know.
I don't know. You got a gremlin back there, so it's just a matter
That's true.
before water goes on it. Just don't pour liquor on that
Hey,
shit.
it's a Mogwai. Get it right.
Don't pour
Shit.
liquor on it.
Yeah,
what would happen if you poured
I
liquor
would
on
be
a
curious.
Mogwai?
Yeah, thank you, JR. My brain just went, what happened? Like, what if you put a tequila shot on top of a Mogwai? What are you gonna get?
But for me, yeah, this one was interesting because I didn't know where they were going with this one. You know, and when the thing starts chasing around the house, I'll be honest, I was laughing. Cause I'm like,
So good. though.
the front door is like right there. Not
Oh.
once did you think about using
She
the front
was
door.
dumb as bricks, though. I'll tell you that.
You forget there was she had a different special lock on the
Listen,
front door.
something is chasing you. You'll figure out how to open up that lock.
She did. She
You know.
got a screwdriver to try to pry that thing open. I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
the
when
fuck this people had
No,
in
but when she got-
1975
she-
to put that on.
Got.
No, but when she's chasing around the house, things chase her. She locks in her room. At that point, she could have gone for the door. This is, yeah, she wasn't the brightest in this one, but yeah, I didn't know where they were going with it. Once the spear came down and the chain broke, you're like, all right, there's something up with this thing, and yeah, I'll be honest, I like the effects of it. This is 75, and the effects of it with the faces coming out, I was like, God, just like rip his head off or some shit, do something. But this was your typical 70 when something's chasing you, you're about to get killed. The woman's, screaming on the ground forever, and the thing's like on the other side of the room, making its way, charging at her and shit. But yeah, no, I want to let you guys finish talking about this one. But yeah, this one was pretty funny, and yeah, well, that I know one of the comments there, that ending, I definitely want to talk about that ending.
I'll leave that one to. I will say, real quick, who laughed when she opened up the suitcase to grab him and he just ran right in there?
No, you know what part I wanted to be like, what the hell are you thinking when it's stabbing through the suitcase and she's trying to grab?
Oh
Really?
yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, take a fucking book and put it on top, like.
oh
But no,
my
but
God, throw it out the window.
Flip the suitcase upside down, JR. You don't know how many times I said to myself when she got him in the suitcase, throw him out the fucking window. What
Window.
are you doing?
Oh my god, yeah, no, it was, but getting
That's
him
what
in there,
I say. She's dumb as bricks. That's why her choice
It's a doll thing. Why are you trying to drown it? It's not gonna work.
that was another part that was a fuck up on there. I would say, like her looking at the suitcase and you're like, because I this is what probably I think I could be wrong if you've seen this a bunch of times, or for me this is the only one that I remember the most.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
same.
think Rick,
Oh,
you
yeah.
said the same thing. Like when
Same.
you see this movie,
Anytime it's
the
promoted,
Zuni doll,
it's always a Zuni's Hunter Fetish style all
Yes.
the time.
and it's when even as I'm watching it, I forgot some parts. But yeah, so when she sees the suitcase, I'm like, that's a smart idea. And then she opens it, and he's like, woo! Like runs in there. I died
was
laughing.
funny.
I'm not gonna lie.
Or
I
when
died
she opens
laughing.
the door and he flies down like, I love that.
It was again. I think like Jr. I mean, 1975.
Yeah.
The special effects. I think whatever budget they had for this made-for-TV movie went into the last one.
Mhm.
And
There was no budget for that, bro. If done right, we could do that now.
I mean, it could
Trust
be
me, I
done
was
much
looking
better.
at every trick they used to get the puppet. It's not difficult, but they nailed it. I think
I
they
still
nailed
liked it. I mean,
Oh,
you
no,
know,
I'm not saying
Well,
it's bad.
it's the
I
camera
loved it.
angles.
Yeah, no,
it's all the
and-
angles.
keep going, Rick.
the cinematography, like JR said, they use a lot of the camera angles to give you the impression of movement. And you mentioned when she was gonna drown him. Yes, I was like, really? But I think that was just an excuse to give us that Rambo moment when he comes out of the fucking tub with the knife in his fucking mouth. I'm like, yes.
I
That's
loved his
fucking
language.
awesome.
You know,
I like that
in your head, he's going, "I'm gonna fuck you up, bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up."
All he wants
Imagine
is
doing
murder
that subtitles. I
Oh
would like
my
to see what
God.
they shoot with subtitles.
Oh man, but yeah, dude, this obviously this is pre-Chucky, So this is like in my opinion, it's probably the first time they made a little man go violent done right. Again, they've probably done it before, but as far as I don't know, if I don't know about it, that means it must not have been popular. If you guys know, let me know. Or anyone in the chat, drop it in there. But yeah, this was pre-Chucky, so this was I loved how they played it because again, the doll felt like it was really alive, and it never felt cheesy or anything. Laughable, but not because
But
it looked
still-
fake, but because how absurd it fucking was. You know what I mean? And again, yeah, the way he was slicing her with the fucking knives. I think who was it that it was? I forgot what director had talked about this, but they were like, you know, instead of going for like extreme gore for certain things, people know. Oh, it was Dario Argento. Joe, we did it for Horror Italiano. I think it was either Opera or Suspiria, one of them. People knows what like paper cuts feels like, or people know. Oh, it was deep red. People know what being burned by hot water feels like. So instead of going for some outrageous kill, dump someone's head in like hot scalding water from a tub, and you're gonna know what that feels like. You're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna squirm. And this here, when she's like, he keeps like stabbing her over and over and
Paper
biting
cuts.
at her. You know what that could feel like, so you feel it. Like, oh my god, this guy's insane, man. I fucking love this episode, and I forgot. One thing I did forget was that he possesses her at the end.
It was in the scroll.
Yes, it was.
It was in the
What was his
scroll.
name? He who kills. And that was his name.
It was in the
So
scroll.
yes, the whole point was the chain is wrapped is on the doll, and once if the chain is removed,
Talisman.
the spirit of that Zuni hunter will be reawoken, and it'll be imbued with the doll itself.
That's the person who ended up reawakening it.
Yeah, so that was cool. I love this one. And again, when it started and it said Amelia, I was like, wait a minute, there's 4 stories here? Wait, it's Trilogy of Terror. That's 3.
So
What
you were
the
waiting for
fuck?
Zuni?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be called the Zuni Hunter Fetish. I don't know. Like, that's all I heard people refer to this as. You know what I mean? Or Trilogy of Terror. Never read Amelia, but it was cool, and I related to the conversation with her mother. Obviously, for me, it felt so realistic because a lot of people have either a parent or a significant other that they just refuse to let go, you know, and they feel tied down to this person. Good. I love stuff like that because it adds you connect to it, you know.
Yeah.
At a human level, you connect to that. It feels real and organic, and we could all we could relate to that in a sense. But that was fucking awesome. Joe?
Well, so I'm trying to remember. I'm a little buzzed right now. I'm not gonna lie. With the whole terror part was the characters, all the female characters, like going through certain things, and with the third one, because the other 2 were going through something different. The other third one was actually Amelia's relationship with her mother and the guilt that she was having. Like if a lot of attention was put on the conversation, and then when she eventually calls back to cancel the date, well, you know how it is. And, to tell the person you're dating, I know today's your birthday, but let's go ahead and celebrate it tomorrow because I can't do this to my mother. So each character had been manipulated by someone along the way, even including with the twins. So with the one
good shout.
cohesion that the movie actually had was all 3 characters were being manipulated and then fighting back. But I fucking loved Amelia. I mean, like I told Adam, I thought he had even seen this. I'm like, you have to have seen this.
It's the
And
money
he's like,
shot of the fucking
"No."
movie.
And
bro.
I'm like,
so good.
And I'm like, I'll tell you right now when we get to the 3rd story, you're going to remember this movie. He's like, I've never seen this. I'm like, this is going to be great. I'm going to watch somebody's
And-
first reaction. Fucking April Fool's Day. What did I tell you when that episode is going to be dropping? Sorry. But April Fool's Day, watching somebody's first reaction to a movie is awesome. And I fucking, it's why Trilogy of Terror 50 years later is still talked about. It should be all 3, honestly, because each story does have the interconnecting that, which I told you guys, is a woman manipulated. It's trying to overcome basically trauma, certain things. But just the last one, because how zany it is, You know,
Bro, I mean, the anxiety that fucking dog caused me just by like constant growling.
so imagine
I
watching
had
that. 'Cause
headphones on. I always use headphones when I watch it. Oh man, I was pretty fucking high too, man. So I was like, Jesus.
I think I
Christ.
was maybe 14 or 15 when I saw this, to be honest. And that's why, again, years later, the Zuni doll, the Amelia episode stuck out the most because you were freaked out. And yes, as I'm watching it now, I'm not gonna say my age. Watching it now, I'm like, well, I would have done. You know what? We all can keep saying I would have done this. But if you got a little fucking scary doll chasing after you, everything that you think you would actually do would fly on your.
I agree with you to an extent. I would, like JR said, I would never try and grab that fucking knife with my fucking fingers when it's popping up. That was stupid. She could have handled that in 1,000 different ways.
No, your part had me laughing though when she's on the bed and it's slowly coming up on the bed sheet. Now it has she's like, ah.
Yes,
And then you finally see with the the blade in his mouth. You're like, really? You couldn't like kicked it in the face or some shit?
I will say that.
Well, she could have just threw that guy out the window a long time ago.
Yeah, it could have been
solved. And the window was open.
It could have, and that again, that front lock on the door completely threw me off.
Yeah, I think was she a paranoid person? It was deadbolted.
Well,
Because when she got possessed, she just broke it up like nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
When she was running, she was trying to get it out.
She's popping it off. But that ending when you see that she's now possessed.
That was awesome.
I will say
ending
though,
was incredible. She called her mom too.
I thought about you, Rick, when they showed it because when
what I mean,
and I think you used it for the.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I had to.
You can see
yes, the teeth,
but you can see the top of the. But you can see the top of her own teeth, and I'm like, oh, damn it! The smile would have been good if she didn't go so big, where you can see the top of her real teeth on that one.
Oh, are you saying that you can see the prosthetic?
Yes, yeah. You can see when you look. You can see, especially right around here.
Is it on the thumbnail?
See where it cuts off, and you
not
can
the
see
thumbnail, though.
No,
in the
not
movie
the
itself.
in the movie.
They fixed it up for the thumbnail.
Yeah, that thumbnail was
fixed. That's the cover of one of the many. By the way, this I'm buying this film. This is a purchase. I have to have this in my collection.
I mean, listen, it is.
You say 1975. We keep saying this though. This movie looks fucking great and I saw this on YouTube. I could imagine what an actual restored 4K version, if there is a 4K, looks like. That's why I have to own this. It's a great film. I love it.
By the way, JR, I would totally buy a Zuni doll to put it in somewhere on my bookcase. After I watched it, I'm like,
one,
you know what? I would get that doll. I would get it around.
Not just that though, but that has a significant place in horror. I think it does, man. It's so recognizable. You show any horror buff that doll, Trilogy of Terror, they know where it's from. It's so recognizable.
And I want. Am I wrong on this? Is this the only made-for-TV movie that we've reviewed on this channel since we started doing this?
No, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I wouldn't know.
I think everything we've done has been mainstream.
It's possible. It's possible. Here we go.
When the chain broke, I was like, "Oh crap! It's about to get crazy."
That ending. You know, it's kind of. I want to know where she got this thing. But did she probably get it from the same guy that the dad got the Mogwai from in Gremlins? Like, where would you find this thing?
Well, and by the way, if you watch it again, when she slams the knife down, she keeps twisting it. So every time it goes down, her hands, she's not just going straight up and down. She twists the knife, twist down.
Oh, when she's stabbing him, you're saying?
No. When she gets possessed and she's waiting for mom.
The floor, yeah.
She's on the floor. If you watch her hands, when she goes down and she lifts up, she twists it.
Yeah, because she's a hunter. She's a hunter.
Mm-hmm. I love that
little detail. That little detail was great because she's not Amelia anymore. That whoever that spirit is of that Zuni hunter, it is now in Amelia, and the way she's waiting for her prey, that was excellent. That's why I love that ending so much.
Yeah, it was a chef's kiss to that episode because again, we're seeing that twisting. Ugh.
All right,
DeRay.
I think I was 7 when I saw this, and that doll freaked me out and made me laugh at the same time. Yeah, it did. That damn noise you made. Rick.
Over the.
Oh, Rick got down fat. Go, Rick.
Sorry, I know I blew somebody's eardrums, but. Yo, Brick! Brick, what up, Brick Artemis? Yo, that's my boy Brick. Oh, yo, I gotta hit you up. I seen a lot of cool Legos. Let me tell you, the Brick Artemis is a Lego collector. He collects figures in general, not just Legos, but Legos. When I see some of the stuff he be posting, they're getting real sophisticated with their builds, bro.
I still have to put my castle together because we talked about this when Break jumped on one episode.
Yes, you have one. Yeah.
No, I know I have it, and honestly,
What is it again?
it's a fucking Disney castle.
Oh,
It's the only reason I haven't rushed. I mean, I do horror. and
That's
I'm gonna have a
fine.
Disney-
Hey, I like Disney.
know,
I like Disney.
But you know, I listen. When I see a really really fucking fucked up movie, do you know what I put on after that? The Little Mermaid, so I can sing and I can forget about what I just fucking
Listen,
saw.
I saw Irreversible right last night. I should have watched Encanto right after. By the way, if there
I
is
put on
ever
Lord
a
of the
Dawn of
Rings,
the
man.
Dead, fucking Lego, I'm all for it.
All right.
The Ray.
Check out the 2013 movie Ooga Booga. It's a tribute to last segment, but more comedy. Karen Black has a small role with it. I tell you what, we're gonna lay the gauntlet down. We will review it, but we want you to
2013.
come on board and watch it, do it with us.
Oh
When is-
yeah,
I thought she
you're right.
died in 20. What movie? Wait, you mean 2003?
2013.
She was gone by then.
2013.
Alexa, when did Karen Black pass away?
I think she was still around 2013.
Karen Black died on August 8th, 2013 at the age of 70.
2013.
Oh,
Her
wait a
last
minute.
role.
Last row.
So,
Look at that.
oh, wow.
Yeah, DeRay, if
Good
you want to
shout.
review it, we'll review it with you.
Yeah,
DeRay in the
DeRay,
chat.
DeRay, if you got a camera, you want to jump on for review? You will gladly have you on.
Mhm.
All right, so let's go ahead. I know, honestly, I really thought this episode was going to be really short for us because I'm like, these two guys, it's truly like we're not reviewing something really strong here. This has been a great conversation, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
And I want to give like the props. I'm pretty sure they might be passed away, but I want to give the props of the fact that this movie, a made-for-TV movie, created this much of a conversation and is part of the horror world. I mean, this movie is, for a lot of people, it's something that they remember from their childhood. Everyone remembers the Zuni doll. I mean, that's how influential this movie has been. And we'll look it up. I will sit there and go through all the episodes, but I want to say this is the first made-for-TV movie we've done, which is a great like fucking accomplishment. That you made a horror movie that we're talking about it 50 years later. So let's go ahead to our closing thoughts. If you guys don't watch the episode, we rated 1 through 5, obviously 5 being the best. So JR, you're first.
So I wanted to give it higher, but the second one kind of knocked it down for me. So I'm gonna give it 3.5. It's still good. It's still a fun watch to do. Yeah, I enjoyed Julie. You know, I mean that dude's creepy. I mean the fact that he was there for a while. I'm sorry. you know.
I couldn't
I
say
know
that.
she was
Next-
manipulating him and
Next
stuff,
time we
but
chill, Gio, I'm gonna be staring at you the whole
No,
time.
listen, if we're in a fucking car and you're just gonna fucking stare at me like that, I'm gonna have to ask you to say, why are you looking at me like that?
Not
What
just
is
that,
your
they're at a
problem?
fucking drive-in. They're watching a movie.
Yeah,
They're
come on,
staring.
the dude's
Why are
like-
you looking?
Let me
It's-
let me listen, bro. I'm an introvert. I don't like I don't like looking at people when I talk. I know it's not good, but I don't. Making eye contact is difficult for me sometimes, especially if I'm not comfortable, right? And I don't. When people just stare at me, it makes me so uncomfortable. Like, what are you looking at?
We're at a fucking drive-in theater.
come
Why
on,
are you?
man.
You're looking at a movie. Don't look at
Watch
me.
yes, exactly. Watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, me eat my popcorn and drink my freaking soda. Leave me alone. I want to know what movie they're watching. You know, French.
Even y'all want to see my ugly? Nah, man.
Come on, man. You
bro.
probably look better than the three of us. huh?
Fuck it. We old as fuck over here, bro.
Yeah,
Come on, we
come
don't
on,
care.
man.
Come on, DeRay.
Now for me, yeah, the second one was like I said, it was too
Joke, salute.
it's too predictable. The third one was just freaking wild, and yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched it, for me it was a fun first watch. Like I said, the only reason I'm giving it
Wait,
3.5.
yours on.
The only reason I'm giving it 3.5 is the second one. Just I wish the second one would have elevated a little bit more, because it felt like when you watched the first one, all right, this one's good. Then the second one came around, you're like, what are you guys doing? Then the third one came around, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's still, for me, I know Joe said like the 3 women were going through stuff, but it's still 3 women going through personality changes in all 3.
You're right.
So-
No, you're
To the
right.
point that third one ended up becoming, fuck it, I'm just gonna, I get possessed, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. The minute he walks in, I'm away from him. Now, granted, if you open the door
called him
and
mother-
you see her
motherfucker.
like that, I'm running. Listen, don't worry about the date. I'm out, man.
Nah,
I won't call you. You're
what
good.
that was her mother she was waiting for, but not her boyfriend.
Was it the mother? I thought it was the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because her mother.
I'm wondering
no,
why
it
he
was her
said
mother.
Oh, it was the mother.
No,
I
she
thought it was the
goes,
boyfriend.
Call her
mother-
motherfucker.
She canceled her.
For some
She
reason, I thought it was the
canceled
boyfriend.
her
Nah, you
date.
just saw it. I understand. That's all.
Yeah.
She canceled her date
Yeah.
with her boyfriend.
She was like, you know,
Because-
fuck
Oh,
this lady, this
was
fuck
all
this woman.
fuck
All right,
her
all right. My bad. My
because
bad.
you wouldn't hang
Nah,
out.
that's what we're here for, bro. We got you.
No,
Yeah, for some reason,
hold
I thought
on.
it was
By the way, Jr. The third part, if you think about it, with the whole mom trauma, yeah, no, it makes sense.
No, in the phone
relate-
call
I
when,
relate
when,
to
when
that.
they were talking on the phone, the first thing I thought about was the movie Cuckoo, because that plays a big part in that movie. The conversation between the mom and the
Make
daughter.
sure to check out that episode. It's on
Yes,
RP
check out
TV.
that movie. That movie's very underrated. It's one
That's
of,
you and Lexi, right?
yes, that's one of the
yeah.
for
That's your
me, that's
story.
one of the hidden gems of 2024. That movie's good, and definitely watch it. Don't let the name fool you, because when you watch it, when you're done watching, you're like, what the fuck that just happened? But good movie. Yeah, 3.5. Definitely watch it. I didn't even know where it was at till Rick put it. It was on YouTube. I'm like, thank God, man, because I don't even know where to search.
Yo,
for this
I know Joe.
I sent
Joe
it to him.
put it on the schedule, and I'm like, all right, let me go watch. I'm like,
Dude, I sent
where
you the link and
fuck
told
is
you.
this movie
I
from?
said, so it's funny. I sent you the link and said, dude, it's available on YouTube. Thanks.
How long
All
ago
of a
was
sudden,
that?
Rick-
Look who
Rick
you talking
goes-
to, bro.
Rick goes, where's it available? I'm like, fucking.
But how long
shit,
ago
I
was that? How long?
fucking-
Jared didn't know either, so it must have
I
been a long
know.
time
Listen,
ago.
hey, this is family. This is how we all take things of each
That's how we
other.
roll, bro. That's how-
But yeah, Rick's
I
like,
got a
where's it
bad memory,
available?
though, hands
And
down.
I'm like, and all of a sudden Rick goes, never mind. I'm like, bro, you just sent the fucking same link I sent you. Love you.
Love you too, bro. Cheers. Salud. Took a shot?
No, you said wait.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to interrupt Jared. That's why I said wait.
No, go ahead, take out a shot, man.
All
Ready?
right, all right, I'll do my score after
3,
this.
2,
So-
1.
Mm.
I'll drink the rest of it.
Ooh, this is tough for me because I'm with JR. I'm a 3.5. I'm a 3.5. The second one, even though it is kind of like the weak link, it is a good filler episode to bookend the really strong first and third episodes. And it flowed well. It didn't overstay its welcome. It wasn't bad by any means, but it was just the twist. It was supposed to be to shock you, and it didn't. I think they just did a poor job in just putting everything
Remember-
together. You know.
By the way, remember, this is your mentality now.
No,
Like,
even
since
back then, I
75.
guarantee
No,
you.
yeah, I
if
would
I
have
would-
said still the same
Yeah,
thing.
bro. No, I mean, not as a kid. Come on, man. You can't do that.
Right.
but listen, Joe.
that's all-
Joe,
I know.
in 1975, even though it was on
You weren't
TV,
even born
this
yet.
was not, huh?
You weren't even born yet.
Exactly. This was not marketed towards kids, though. This was marketed towards
No,
adults.
adults.
So even any adult would be like, "Oh, I know where this is going," because you never saw them on screen. They didn't even try, like you said, Joe. They never really tried to
No,
trick
they
you.
did
or-
not. They didn't. That's where the
Yeah.
episode was the weakest part. Was
Yeah,
the
and
fact
then,
that they
and then
never.
when Therese shows up, it's obvious
Yes.
wig.
If
So
they
you
went
know
psycho,
that's
like you
Melissa,
said,
you know.
if they went psycho, like you said, psycho, the way that
You
Alfred
said that. That was a good show. Yeah.
No, you.
You said that. That was you, bro.
No, I said that.
Who said that?
I did.
Oh,
About
you did.
Talking
Oh
through
no,
the
but
door.
Joe was the
Well,
one
Joe
that-
mentioned about the talking.
He
I
mentioned
said
the
they
door,
should, they
that's
should
why I
do
said
like
that.
Psycho, but you heard the voice. on
I'm
the
sorry, I
inside.
did mention that.
It's all right.
Yes.
But
I'm
let me
sorry.
let me
I'm
just
a little
finish,
busy.
and I'll give Joe the floor. It's a great film though. I need to
It
own
is.
it. I need to own it. It's the reason why I give it 3.5 is because it's not a movie. It's three shorts, right? 3 short films condensed into one film, and that's all it really is, you know. And then nothing here is gonna blow you away, but the third story is very memorable, very iconic, and Karen Black killed every single role she had in this movie.
She fucking.
and I couldn't recommend it enough, man.
All right, so I'm going a 4 on this one, only because here's the thing: we review so much mainstream that, and I mentioned it already as I talked. This was made for TV, so this didn't have the same budget that the things popping up on the theater is going to have. I mean, every story was awesome. Watching it again, it was a fresh, like, oh shit, I don't remember this. But everything single story is actually good. It does
I
have
don't like the first 2 episodes or segments.
no, I don't like them all.
You like them all, okay?
Oh yeah, no, he liked them all. And as we talked, as we were watching it, he was just like, oh, all right.
They're
But
good,
yeah, no,
but,
everything. But again, I know I'm drilling on it. It's made for TV. It's not. This is not. It did not have the budget of most of the movies that we all watch. So for what was
Good.
produced
Yeah.
and what we saw was fucking really good. You know, I mean, story wise, yes, JR. It's Alfred Hitchcock. It's got twists. It's got turns. This is what horror was
Hey,
back in
without
the day.
Richard Matheson, there would be no Night of the Living Dead.
No,
There wouldn't. So come on.
I mean it's a time capsule. Yes, when you watch it, if you like gore, you like splash, you're like, oh, sucks. No, you need to put your brain into that year when you watch it.
Dude,
And so
this guy got a hotel room, a motel room for him and his wife for $15.
I've gone to motel rooms, so they are pretty cheap. So I mean, they're
all right.
yeah.
You still
Yeah,
hit motels, Joe? Yeah, nice.
I used to before I was married.
I'm kidding.
Before I was married, Adam. Before I was married. But no, I mean, this movie it's awesome. I'm glad we decided. Well, actually, I'm glad you both agreed to review this one. I know I had said, hey, this is coming up. But it gets its merits in horror. Karen Black is an awesome actress. She carried an entire film with 4 different characters. I mean, even in some movies we've seen, the person carries 2 characters, 3 maybe at the most.
And
but
these were all different from
all
one another.
different. And this is why this movie. I mean, it's a time capsule, yes, but it's awesome. But
Favorite character, Joe. Favorite character she played. Quick.
Oh my God, Millicent.
All right. What do you think? Listen, all right, GR.
Julie.
Yeah, Julie for me too.
I knew why you guys went Julie because that's straight up horror.
All of it. No, not even. No, it's not that.
No.
Don't know how tech aspects work.
Rick,
I can use
Rick,
Zoom.
when you said you were
hold
happy,
on,
when
hold
she
on.
goes, I didn't. When I didn't drug you.
You
I
feeling
killed you."
nice? You feeling nice?
He's nice.
Oh yeah.
Hold on,
nice.
Joe. Hold on, Joe.
I said earlier.
No,
Nice.
DeRay, hit us up. We'll walk
Yeah,
you through. It's
we'll
easy,
help
man.
you out, man.
Really
Oh, yeah,
easy.
yeah, it's
Really
not
easy.
hard.
Yep, hit us up, brother. If you follow, let me see. If you can, Jesus Christ, I guess if you follow, I don't know if you're on social media or not, but just get to us. We'll get back to us somehow. I'm a little buzzed right now. I can't.
Same
But-
thing. And honestly, anybody who comments, if you want to jump on,
Yeah,
like
it's-
I will say,
we love talking
I'm
horror
so-
with
I'm
people
so
that actually
glad-
love the shit that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad we found. I love all of our guests. I promise you, I do. I'm so glad it's just us 3. You know, it's been a while that the 3 brothers
Look
have
at
been
Joe.
together.
Look at G. I know you're thinking, GR. I know you're thinking.
He's like, "Oh, Joe's feeling nice."
Yeah,
right now."
Joe's
Joe's
cool. All right,
really
it's time to
nice.
wrap up. But
Here it
real quick,
comes.
before we wrap up, Joe, what were you
But no,
saying before? You were saying something I wanted to elaborate on a little bit. Oh no,
What was it?
you forgot. Oh no.
No, you're asking me, and then you want to
we got
elaborate.
you, brother.
on
We
it.
got you, brother.
All right, I'm gonna throw you guys a wrench. Ready? Out of the 3, which one do you want to see as a feature film? Go.
Actually, I want to see Julie. I want to see a serial killer in college taken down.
This is interesting because Julie, I think, in my opinion, it works better as a short film because how much more can they add to that?
I want to see.
you know what
I
mean?
want
Yeah,
to see. I
but
want to
it's just
see
gonna
her
be filler
doing
at
things.
that point. Yeah, but then I don't want to see
Alright,
an hour and a half, 2 hour
So what-
movie of this
So
guy.
what's your?
just,
I don't. You just
honestly,
knocked out
for
mine.
me,
Mhm.
all right, for me, I'll be honest, man. I think a feature-length film, but if we get to do it right, I would say Melissa and
Yeah, I knew you were gonna
Alicia.
say
Oh,
that
what's
one.
your name? Oh, Alicia? No, what's your name?
Teresa.
Therese.
Melissa.
All right, now
Therese.
I gotta go.
I
Therese.
knew. I knew you were gonna say that
Because
one. by the way.
I think Amelia's perfect as is. Perfect as is. I think
Alright,
the
Jared,
second,
what about
the second
yours,
film
Jared?
could do with more runtime and more fleshing out and a better everything. Except for
And
the
Jared,
performances, the acting was good.
I think the second film, because how I would do it is to play to the fact that use the boyfriend as the one that doesn't know that they're the same person. So when he was in the house, imagine the minute Therese would leave, exit the room, come back as Millicent, talking shit about her sister. Basically, you could have a nice moment in the film where this is happening to him, and then he could take so when he exits the house is when he's always with Therese. When he enters the house is when Millicent shows her face even more, where it'll really fuck with his head, because you could have both personalities really stand out on their own, and then the reveal will be freaking crazy. I mean, all of a sudden he's in the freaking bed with, Teresa and it's Millicent with her
You know
glasses
who
on.
I would get to direct it? Mike Flanagan.
Oh my god.
And you know who I would get to play
Shit.
Teresa and Millicent? Sydney
Ooh.
Sweeney.
Hold on a
Really?
second.
Yes,
I'm gonna
I
go
think-
with Anna. I'm
because
gonna go with
I
Anna.
just watched.
I'm gonna go
I
with
watched
Anna
Immaculate,
Taylor-Joy.
and whew,
I'm going with Anna Taylor-Joy.
I love.
no,
Sydney.
but Anna Taylor-Joy, I love her, but I don't think. I think you would have to go with somebody a little bit.
You can't pull that off for
Mm.
having two different people, and people think the two different people.
And
are-
she
it's
can't.
so
She can't.
distinct.
I've seen her in some movies, and
No, she
it's
can,
different.
but
Oh,
I
no,
just
no,
think.
no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, I
All right,
think
well, let's wrap
somebody.
this
Yeah.
up, Joe. Take us home, son.
All right. So thank you for joining
Real
us.
quick before
Next-
we finish, we got one last one. If you can use Zoom, you can use Streamer on the computer. Thank you, my man. Just
Yep.
make sure you close out any windows or apps if your computer runs slow while on stream. Thank
And
you,
yes-
Rockzilla. Appreciate that.
Yes, they're right. We could do Zoom for editing purposes, I guess.
No, he's talking about
But-
this live stream. Go ahead.
Oh, but thank you for joining us. In the next episode, we are doing Strange Darlings.
First watch for all of us.
It's first watch for all of us,
First
honestly.
off.
And the fourth corner is joining us on this one.
Lexi.
So I will say I am a huge fan of Kyle Gallner. He appeared in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
he's
come
been a-
on. From all the movies, you say that one.
The remake.
That's
actually,
from the worst
hold on,
film.
hold on.
He's been in so many
He was
other better
actually-
films.
He's been actually the better part of the remake. But
I never
he's
watched it.
done
At
a
least
lot
you
of good-
watched it. I refuse to watch it.
I'm not watching it.
Oh, I saw it. He was the better part of it.
I'll take
But
your
yes, join us next episode where we do Strange Darlings.
word. All right.
And actually, Rick, take us home.
All right. With that being said, let me get this going. Be good. Stay healthy. See, man, I fucked up, and I
You
can't
can't
edit
not
this.
edit this.
I can't.
Yeah.
Mark for edit.
Mark.
With that being said, stay good, stay healthy, stay sane. Drink some beer. If not, drink like Joe. See, I fucked up 2 times. You know what? Stay scared, motherfuckers. See you in the